Princess Anne, the steadfast and respected daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, has reportedly issued a heartfelt and direct warning to King Charles, following her profound disappointment with Queen Consort Camilla's controversial decision to sell a portion of the late Queen's cherished inheritance. This move has sent shockwaves through the royal family, stirring deep concerns about the preservation of the late monarch's legacy and the royal family's future. The decision to sell some of Queen Elizabeth's most beloved horses has ignited widespread discontent among members of the royal household, many of whom view these animals not merely as possessions, but as deeply symbolic and personal representations of the Queen's life, legacy, and values. According to insiders, the Queen's horses, cherished symbols of her reign and her personal passion, have long been seen as more than just animals. They stand as a testament to her dedication, discipline, and the values she embodied throughout her historic reign. These horses were bred and nurtured under the Queen's meticulous care, and for those who knew and revered her, they represented an enduring connection to a bygone era of British tradition. Their sale has been met with a mixture of sorrow and outrage, leaving many wondering about the broader implications for the royal family's reputation and the future of the monarchy. Princess Anne, known for her unwavering commitment to royal duties and her deep respect for tradition, has emerged as one of the most vocal opponents of the sale. Insiders suggest that Anne views the decision as a transgression against her mother's memory and the values she held dear. As someone who shares Queen Elizabeth's passion for equestrian pursuits, Anne's dismay is compounded by her personal connection to the horses, many of which she too cared for and adored. Reports indicate that Princess Anne has privately confronted King Charles, warning him about the broader consequences of such a decision on the monarchy's reputation. Her cautionary remarks reportedly emphasized the importance of preserving the heritage and symbols that have defined the royal family for generations. In Anne's eyes, the sale of these horses is not merely a financial transaction, but a significant loss to the monarchy's identity, a move that could damage the royal family's relationship with the British public and its historical ties to tradition. The Queen's horses were an integral part of her life from a very young age. At the age of 4, she received her first pony, Peggy, as a gift from her grandfather, King George V. This early introduction to equestrianism ignited a lifelong passion that would define much of her reign. Over the decades, Queen Elizabeth developed an unparalleled understanding of horse breeding, genetics, and care, earning the admiration of equestrian professionals worldwide. Her horses were not only companions, but vital participants in royal ceremonies, adding grandeur to state events such as Trooping the Colour and the state opening of Parliament. These horses, many of which were favoured steeds of the Queen, became iconic symbols of her reign, representing both her personal commitment to the sport and her deep connection to British heritage. Camilla's decision to auction off over a dozen of these beloved animals, including 2 that held significant sentimental value to the late Queen, has been described by some palace insiders as a short-sighted cash grab. While Camilla reportedly views the horses as remnants of a past era, critics argue that they represent an enduring link to Queen Elizabeth's legacy and should have been preserved. The timing of the sale, coming so soon after the Queen's passing, has only added to the controversy, leading many to speculate about underlying tensions within the royal family. The sale of these horses has sparked intense debates about the financial motivations behind the decision. Some royal watchers have accused Camilla of prioritizing practicality over sentimentality, arguing that the horses' symbolic value far outweighs their monetary worth. For many, the horses are not just animals, they are living symbols of Queen Elizabeth's dedication to tradition, and their sale represents a severing of the ties that have bound the monarchy to the British public for generations. As the Queen consort, Camilla has long felt the weight of public scrutiny, but this recent decision has revealed deeper strains within her relationship with other members of the royal family. Sources suggest that Camilla has privately expressed frustration over what she perceives as a lack of recognition for her contributions to the royal family, particularly regarding the distribution of Queen Elizabeth's assets. It is widely known that the late Queen left the majority of her jewelry collection to Princess Catherine, a decision that reportedly caused Camilla to feel overlooked and marginalized. These feelings of exclusion may have influenced her view of the horses as burdens rather than valuable symbols of heritage. While Princess Anne and others close to the late Queen view the sale as a profound misstep, Camilla reportedly frames it as a practical necessity. She has reportedly persuaded King Charles to support the decision by highlighting the costs and logistical challenges associated with maintaining the horses. The sale is, in her view, a pragmatic solution to what she perceives as a financial and operational burden. However, critics argue that this perspective fails to honor the late Queen's profound attachment to her equestrian heritage. For Princess Anne, the Queen's horses were not just a hobby, they were a part of the very fabric of her life and reign. Their sale, to Anne, represents a betrayal of that legacy, as well as a disregard for the public's emotional connection to these symbols of the monarchy's continuity and stability. King Charles's support for Camilla's decision has only served to further strain familial relationships. While Charles shares his mother's appreciation for horses, his endorsement of the sale suggests a willingness to prioritize financial and logistical considerations over tradition. Some sources indicate that Charles may have been swayed by Camilla's argument that the horses represent a drain on the royal household's resources, framing their sale as a necessary step in modernizing the monarchy. The decision to sell the Queen's horses is not just a matter of family disagreement, it has wider implications for the monarchy's future. For decades, the royal family has been synonymous with tradition, continuity, and the preservation of British heritage. The sale of these horses, which have played such a significant role in royal ceremonies and symbolized the late Queen's personal dedication, raises profound questions about what the monarchy stands for in the 21st century. As the monarchy faces increasing public scrutiny, the sale of these horses may be seen as a metaphor for the shifting values within the royal family. Critics argue that it reflects a move towards financial pragmatism at the expense of sentimental and symbolic ties to the past. For Princess Anne, the decision is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between maintaining the monarchy's public image and honoring the legacy of those who came before. Her warning to King Charles underscores the growing concerns about the future of the royal family, as it navigates a changing world and attempts to reconcile tradition with modernity. As the dust settles, it remains to be seen whether the sale of Queen Elizabeth's beloved horses will become a defining moment in the history of the British monarchy. Will the royal family's desire to modernize clash irreparably with its historical legacy? Or will this controversy fade into the background as the monarchy adapts to the demands of the 21st century? Only time will tell.